Hello everyone, I am Chaos X Otaku, and today I am going to be showing off my railroad on the game Railroads Online. This is mainly just to show it off, but as I was building this layout, I basically made sure to always stay at a 2% gradient. There are only two parts on my layout that have a 3%, which are very short. And always to go no tighter than a 20% curve radius. So I'm going to show you off my layout. You can obviously see a few bridges, we'll get to that in a minute. I'm basically going to take you through my main running line, and then basically tell when we get to a point I'll explain which point where it goes, and yeah, I'll also show off some of the other parts of my layout. But we're going to be taking the Type 70 today, and I thought I'd do something a bit different than what most people do. I'm going to be towing all of my engines that I own so far. So we got the Cook Mogul here, the Eureka, the Climax I think it was, and the good old Betsy at the back here. So we will, there we go, back to first person. Okay, so yeah. The brakes are all off. My company is obviously Southern Inc. So yeah, we're going to take off. Oh, best to get in the right direction. Okay, so yeah, this is just a little bit of fun here to show off my layout. But yeah, we'll come back to the goods yard later. So obviously I've got a Helix right on my doorstep I have, which is a cool little feature. So this first point here, this here obviously does not go to the logging camp. It actually swings back around and goes past the depot towards, what was it called, the Oilfield Ironworks and Refinery. So that's what that one does there. So obviously we'll continue on, but as you can see I've already started increasing my gradient here, but most of my track is on a bridge. There's very little ground working on my layout, which I find hilarious, but yeah, and just for to know what setting I'm playing on the realistic settings, so we'll see if the Type 70 can pull this lot, and hopefully we won't derail. If I derail, I'll basically just uncouple the Type 70 and leave the other engines where they are. We'll continue on. So obviously you might have noticed my Type 70 doesn't have any numbering on it, and that's because I did not know you could do that when I bought it. So later down the line I might delete it and get another one with my Southern Ink on the side and a number. Comment down below which number I should give it, and if no, I will not be giving it 69. Okay, so here we are passing the sawmill, but we don't actually go to the sawmill on this one here. This is a cool feature. So basically I've got two helixes here, which allows me to have a loop on the sawmill. So basically, as you can see here, this is an okay view, yeah, that one comes in and that one goes out. So if I wanted to go to the sawmill, I'd take this point here on my left, and then obviously I'd come back round and through there. But obviously we're not doing that because we're heading off to the logging camp next. So, but yeah, I really do like how I've got those two very symmetrical. So I think that looks kind of cool. Yeah, all staying back there nicely. Obviously, also I've found the glitch. I'm not sure if it does want to get on this, but if you fill up your water via the water tower by over 100 on the water tower, the water level on the tender will not go down. I'm not sure what's going on with that, but if you want a way to have infinite water, there you go. So something to bear in mind, and personally I hope it gets fixed, because it kind of takes away from the realism. That's why I want to delete this one, because it's got the infinite water glitch, as I like to call it, on it, whereas all my others are left as standard. So I didn't overfill them more than 2,000 on certain ones. Yeah, with my Quick Motor and Eureka, I think I kept them pretty low. Okay, so obviously up to the sawmill. So another thing about my layout is every facility, or I think that is the word, facility, is basically they all have loops on them. So I always go in one end and always come out the other. So basically there's always a certain direction you have to travel on my track. You can't go in the opposite direction. So obviously I haven't built myself a little shunt yard yet here, which I do plan on doing later down the line. But yeah, obviously I try to keep my track as tidy as possible. Yeah, I'm not really sure what much to say at this point other than what I've been doing. Like I said, when we get to each destination I'll explain what was my thought process. So there are some areas on my track that do go above the 20% grade on the curves, but they're only at the facilities, or that if I need to loop back around. Originally that curve that we just went around back there, that loops back around on the logging camp, did go at a 25%, but I felt it was too tight, so I changed it. So oh no, we haven't missed a point. I thought we missed one then. So yeah, we're coming up to one now. Originally this line did go over this hill over here and down there, but I switched it around, basically because I wanted it closer by. But yeah, this track, we're going to go down the left here, but the track that goes down to the right goes back to the depot. So it's basically just a way for me to get back quickly with some cordwood, I think it is, just so I can fill up my one of the only two logging like the firewood facilities that you can place down. I've only got two of them on my entire layout. I've not really done much on the facilities part, yeah, that's basically there. So basically it's just that line there, it's just so that I can get back quicker and fill that up with the cordwood. Okay, so hopefully this point is set right. I think I've only got to switch one point on this. I think most of them are already all set. But yeah, I do love this bridge coming across here. I do need to change it so it's a bit more even, because as you can see that one's only got 4 and that one's 3 across on it. So I might need to shorten that piece of groundwork there. But yeah, by setting up my layout like this, I can effectively loop back around up on that bridge, head up over to the logging camp, and then back down on this line and fill up on the logs over there a lot quicker, and then loop back around quickly. So basically the idea of my layout was to set up the points in a way that would allow me just to keep running the train in one direction. So yeah, this curve that we're on right now does go at 22% because I was having trouble with this hill, and as you can see it also is on an incline because again that mountain was just a pain in the arse to lay. So yeah, obviously that line allows me to either head back down to the depot or the back to the logging camp, and obviously go across here because I had trouble with the curves again, so I just decided to use that. Oh, and I've lost the coupling snapped. Bugger. Okay, I must have snapped there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to break them. Uh-oh. It's a bit of a pain. Okay, if I get out quickly. There we go. We're attached. We're attached again. Okay, that wasn't too bad. That was kind of lucky. That was. So yeah, it must have snapped on that tighter radius there. So yeah, that gives you an indication of how tight that one was. That's probably one of my tightest curves, at 23% curve, but I think that's the tightest I've ever gone on my layout, so hopefully the remaining couplings shouldn't snap on the rest of this layout. There is one corner that does go at 22, which does have me a bit concerned, and it's on an incline, so that might not be great. Sorry. So we're coming up to some point work here. Now originally this was when I was planning on just doing the one line up to a one of the facilities that's on the map, but again obviously I changed that, so I just left this point work in. So we're going to go right here. This one goes up to the iron ore mine, and this line on the left here allows me to go to the coal mine. So that's basically what that does here, but we're coming up to the massive, well, cluster of bridges that I've placed down. This here is just insane by the amount of bridges I've done. So yeah, that point there, well, this line coming here comes up from the refinery, so basically it allows me to loop back around on myself. And because I didn't have the height at that point, so I looped back around, and then allows me to basically set up a loop between the refinery and the iron ore mine. Okay, good, that point was set. Yeah, but yeah, you just get an idea of how much bridge work I've done at this point. Now, that bridge over there originally looped back around on itself, and then looped back around again to get back down to the refinery, but I didn't like it because it had a very high section that I had to build up the ground for it as well, and it just didn't look good, so I ended up deleting it and changing it. But this corner that we're coming up to now goes a bit tighter than 20%, only for a very short section, so hopefully this coupling won't snap. How's my fuel doing? 50%. Okay, so yeah, obviously this one here I had to build up the ground just a bit, just so that the legs of the bridge went all the way down, because they were just floating in midair, which I do not like to see. Oh yeah, we snapped again. And just go. There we go, got it. So yeah, we gonna pull away? Yeah, we are. So obviously these are 2% inclines. So yeah, that was another just slightly sharper than 20% there. But other than that, everything else should be no more than 20%. Yep, that made it around that corner nicely. Oh, no it didn't. Okay. Yeah, I must have went sharper there as well. Oh well. There you go, make it. Come on. Okay, good. Phew. So yeah, only that part there was really the only bit that goes sharper, because I just had to get the corner around here. But yeah, most of the rest of the layout, I mean, this was actually one of the first bridges that I did. So because of that, I used the wrong rails on top of it. I should have used the these types here, the rail deck, but I didn't do that. So, and I did not want to have to relay the whole thing again, so I just left it as it was. as you can see, the bridge wasn't, like I said, this wasn't my best work for the bridge, and one day I might come back to it, but for now it does the job. I mean, I can pretty much bomb it up here with the Type 70 and like 10 other cars or something on the back and not have any issue whatsoever. So obviously just coming up to the iron ore mine up in a bit. I tried to snake it a little bit because that will cover a bit more distance, try and get it up to the right height, but I didn't want to snake it too much that I'd be creating these weird S-bends. So I try and my rule of thumb is when I change into a different curve is to go from a 1% then to a 5%, and then if I want to go back in the opposite direction I go back to a 1% to finish off that first curve, then to 0% before then going back to 1% in the opposite direction. So basically all my curves I always start off with a 1% and then go into a 5%, and if I need to make it tighter then a 10%, and then again if I need to do it any tighter than that then I'll go to 15 and then obviously to 20, but I always go back in that order at the same time. And this section, right, you can sort of see it, is we're about to hit it right about now. This section here that the Type 70 is on is actually a 3% climb, because I just needed it to get up that little bit, but it's such a short distance that I figured with the momentum that we have it wouldn't matter. Okay, so this is my iron ore mine. I've set up a little shunt yard here, which I think is okay, just for something small. No, that was a 20% curve, yeah, I was able to get that curve at 20% so those couplings didn't snap, so obviously now we're coming down. Now there is a point on here on this bridge coming up, and originally my plan was to go over this mountain and go straight to the coal mine, but I found that it was just too silly and ridiculous to do, so I basically have just got a piece of track here that leads to nowhere. And I kind of want to do one of those, if anyone's watched Back to the Future 3, I might just do a line that just goes off to nowhere, off the edge of here, just so I can run a train off of it, just for a bit of fun. I might actually do that on my next build session. So yeah, oh, and if any modders are listening to this, can you mod in the DeLorean from Back to the Future 3, just change it to one of the cars so we can push it as well, that'd be great. Okay, so obviously we're just heading down here, and again I'm still at 100% reg here. I know I shouldn't be, but I'm not like picking up that much speed. Yeah, I do need to get a bit more fuel. Still got ore from there, that's good. So yeah, obviously this is again 2% grade all the way down, which was a real pain to do, because trying to get 2% grade down from this direction down to the refinery was just an absolute nightmare. Yeah, I think I went 20% along here for this curve. Might have been a bit less than that, but there's my couple snap. No, I'm still coupled on, that's good. So yeah, obviously I try to keep things as straight as possible. But what I tend to do with my straights, I try and lay the straights first without connecting the curves, and then I'll connect the curves that are later after I finish the straight, so that I can keep it to where I want. But yeah, I've got a nice bridge here. And then obviously back to the wooden. So I only use the the iron bridges, basically when I've, because they're a lot taller than the wooden ones, so if I always use the wooden ones unless they're not tall enough, then I'll switch to the iron. But yeah, we'll just continue on here. And I bet Betsy's getting a thrashing back there. Its poor little wheels will probably get thundering along. So, but yeah, I had to put a bit of groundwork along there just because the bridge had that nasty overhang. It wasn't tall enough for that bit. But yeah, as you can see here, there's no trees along this area, so this was where the line looped back in, and I've just spotted some groundwork that I've left there. I'll have to delete that at a later date. Obviously I built this when it was back in the winter season, so I probably I didn't notice it back then, but yeah, I'll have to go back and delete that at some point. Obviously we're coming up to the next set of point work, so that line that I said if I wanted to take to get to the coal mine, that's it right here, coming across here, so and obviously that meets up with that bridge there, and again that allows me to loop back down towards the refinery, and that one there goes off to the coal mine. So we're going to go left here, and this one here allows me to go to the coal mine as well. So we'll be coming back on this line later because basically this order that I'm doing it allows me to go first to the iron ore, then to the refinery, and then to the coal mine, which is good because I can get the iron from the iron ore, drop it off at the refinery, and then pick up some rails to head up to the coal mine, and obviously I'll have empty coal and iron cars then, so I can fill up on coal and then come on my way back. So that's why I've done that. So my layout has a lot of options, is basically the idea of things. It's so I can set up a route and either do a ton of runs just to fill up the fill it up completely, or just do one run and then switch to another type of industry. Anyway, so this point here that goes off to the right, this one connects up to this bridge, and this one just heads back. So if I want to skip out the refinery after coming back from the coal mine, I can, or from the iron ore mine if I don't want to head, if I just want to do beams and drop off the lumber and beams at the iron ore, I can take this line here and then head off back to the the sawmill. So. But yeah, you get a real sense of how many bridges there. So that line there is the return line from my coal mine up there, so that's where that goes. But this line on the left here actually comes from the refinery and heads towards the coal mine, so we'll be coming up this bridge later. And then obviously this bridge here heads back from the refinery back up to where we saw earlier, to where that Helix was up there. I might show that route off at the end of the video, so depending on how long this is, because these are very long routes. They do take a long time. Yep, we're all still connected, so yeah, you just get a sense of how shallow these curves are. The only two curves are literally at the logging camp and up on that bridge heading up to the iron ore mine, not the logging camp, the sawmill, and heading up to the iron ore mine. Those are probably my three sharpest turns that I've got there. Yeah, to be honest, I don't think that coupling is going to snap now, because I'm heading up to the iron ore and doing the sawmill were some of the first lines that I ever put in, so I broke my rule of thumb quite early, but after that I got a bit better at laying my track down, so I'm hoping that doesn't snap the coupling after this. yeah, it's a bit of a weird thing coming down to the refinery this way, but it was the only way I could get down. So basically we go around here and then we do another 180 turn around here past my small shunt yard here, and I need to do another 180 degree turn on the way back just to get onto the other side of the refinery. I've just noticed some track there I left doubled up. So yeah, basically when I'm laying track, if I want to get it back to join it up, I'll actually start one rail back so that I can get them lined up better instead of free placing it on the very end of the track. I just feel it works better, that's all. So, but yeah, we're coming around here, so excuse me. So yeah, I've used the walled groundwork there for some buffers, which look cool. But hopefully they add buffers in later. My fuel is still good. I think my water level is finally starting to go down. I think yeah, it has. Okay. I must have just overfilled it so that the gauge on the game wasn't actually displaying how much water was in my tender. Anyway, so yeah, I've got just a small side in there to put the cordwood in. So yeah, that just loops back around there. Yeah, I did put these rails a bit close to the platform here, so I might at a later date move it a bit further away, but they do load up just fine. Obviously I need to do a bit more runs. It's the cordwood that is the most pain in the ass thing to set up. Okay, oh, this is the wrong line. This is the line that heads. Okay, you know what, we'll head up this line here just to show it off, and then we'll come back down this line only to head up to the coal mine, because yeah, so that line over there is the line that heads off to the coal mine. So, but obviously that's not what that's doing at the moment. So, but I do want to show off these other lines. Okay, so we'll come up this line and then we'll head back. So, but yeah, this is a 20% curve, 20%. Sorry, a 2% grade again. So. All my bridges are 2%. Now that bridge there that we just passed was the only other area that had a 3% incline at the very start of it. We'll show it off when we come back down, but yeah, at the very start is a 3% incline on that. I might need to redo that curve a bit. There's a bit of a kink in there. I got lucky with these legs here because I actually built this bridge that comes over the top of it after this bridge, so I kind of got a bit lucky with the foundation on those over there. Yeah, this is just a nice slow incline. Obviously, yeah, as you can see with this bridge here, I made sure to not put any of the foundation into the river itself, so that was a bit of a pain in the arse to do, especially with it being so high up. But yeah, I do like this bridge that we come under, because basically it just looks cool, I think. But yeah, so this here, if I wanted to head up to the iron ore mine again, I'd take this Helix here, head back round, And obviously this line on our right here is the one that comes from the coal mine, which I show you. Yeah, you can just see it go all the way around. But I just want to check the point quickly and just see if that's set correctly. It should be set for this line, so. No, it's not. Okay, I'm just going to set this point quickly. Ready for when we come back from the coal mine. Okay, so but yeah, basically head around there on this here, head up there, over and back up to the iron ore mine if I needed to. Yeah, I don't know any of the actual whistles because I'm not that much. I'm not that knowledgeable about American railroads, so unfortunately I don't know that. So yeah, I'll just let these run without the regulator, and just let them coast down. I wonder how many. I'll have to check actually how many hours have I actually put into this game. I'll just check quickly. 200, over 200 hours so far. So, and that's just been building this railroad. So, but obviously I've obviously unlocked a few of the trains. I still need the Heisler, I think it is, and the larger porter. Can't remember its name. So, but I still need to buy 2 more engines, and I still need a bunch more freight. I've only got like 3 coal hoppers, so at the moment plus 3 of the cordwood wagons. I think I've got about 8 the flatbeds that hold like all the rails and beams like those, and only 5 flatbeds that hold the logs and steel pipes. So it's okay, and I've only got 1 box car and 1 caboose at the moment. So, but we're going to be heading up a very, very long route soon because the coal mine is just ridiculously long. It takes an extremely long time to get to and then get back. So yeah, I was saying about the this here having a 3%. I think from here to about there, roughly, is a 3% climb just at the start. It just allows me to. I just was too high when I came down because I built it from the top down, so I was just a bit too high with it. So I had to just do a quick 3% drop there for it. So we will just flip this point. And we'll head up, and hopefully I didn't decouple or anything. No, we're good. Okay then. So yeah, I still need to do a bit more work. I need to place a bunch more water towers down. Yeah, I've only got two firewood depots no, that wasn't it. Close. Facilities. Yeah, firewood depot. I've only got 2 of them on my entire layout. One was at the iron ore mine, and the other's at my main depot. The freight depot. Yeah, so I've got one of those firewood depots there as well. So, and to be honest, when you got tenders with a bunch of wood on it, you really don't need that many on the layout, I feel. I mean, if you've only got a porter, then obviously, well, if you're only starting out with a porter, then the only thing I could really suggest is just quickly placing one down and just using that wood, and by the time you've used all that wood up, you've already got another engine with more wood. So that's how it was for me anyway. I wanted to get the Type 70 first out of all my engines because I just like the look of it, and it's still my favourite engine, the Type 70. Probably, I mean, I've not fully tested out the Eureka yet, but I have tested out the, I've forgotten its name, no, that's embarrassing. What was it? The Cook Mogul, yeah. I've played with this one, and it's too fast sometimes. I had it going down my track with a bunch of standard flatbeds. It just shook them off the rails. It was so fast. So, but I do like it. I do like the look of it. Eureka is just beautiful. Though I've called it the Iron Turd. I'm sorry. I just had to. Yeah, the Cook Mogul I called. It's old iron, so I need another iron pun for the Type 70. But yeah, so here we go. So as you can see here, we looped around here, over here, and up here. Again, all at 2% with no more, less than 15 to 20% grade on these curves. So, but yeah, I've got 4 bridges going over this waterfall, all with no foundation going over the actual water bit, which I absolutely love. So yeah, obviously that was the line that was all the way back up there when there was just those 3 lines at the start. So now, again, if I came in on that and wanted to head down to the straight to the refinery, I'd take this left lane here, but we're heading off to the coal mine. So yeah, if I was running a bunch of cordwood trains, I would take this line here. And obviously, this is probably my lowest bridge. The Cook Mogul just makes it under. But I made sure to test all my bridges by using the caboose, because the caboose is fairly high because of its little view area with the lamp at the top. So I would always place that down with the track, and then make sure the bridge didn't interact with it. So there is a very small section on this bridge that goes 3%, but it's such a small space. It's basically the space between like 2 of these, and that's it. It's probably yeah, just after this curve and then onto the point. There's probably just a quick 3% incline just to get it up to its right place. But yeah, that's the only other area that has a 3%. So they're so short. They're not really not even worth mentioning. But I felt like I should mention them. And now, the longest route. Oh, this is going to take a while. So, my editing skills aren't the best, but I will try and figure out how to speed this part of the video up. So I'm just going to let this run until we get to the coal mine. So yeah, I'll speak to you in a bit. Okay, yeah, put a bit of groundwork there because obviously this bridge was a bit too high, but yeah, this is not how my Helix is working out quite well actually. I've actually gotten quite good at building these. Yeah, again, made it underneath just fine, so yeah. Well, pretty much most of my helixes, I think I went a bit tighter here, but I don't think I went any more than 18 here. We'll know if the coupling snaps. Yep, we're good on that. So yeah, most of my, well, pretty much all of my helixes don't go any more than a 15% turn on the grade, just because I want to keep them somewhat smooth all the way around, and they tend to work out quite well. And a good way of gaining height in, I wouldn't say a limited space, but they do certainly make things a bit easier. So, and obviously I know they wanted you to follow this route along here, and I did try it originally, but it just worked out better with that there. And same with this here, this curve was just way too tight for 20%, so I ended up just going over it with the iron bridges. So yeah, that's how this ended up happening. So, but obviously you can see I did originally try because there's no trees here, but yeah, it didn't work out, so I ended up just giving up and doing a bit of an easier option. And I feel like it works. You can tell my track is, again, I try to get my track to look very smooth, and if I do see a kink, I'll either come back and do it at a later date, or fix it right there and then on the spot, because I'm pretty OCD about my track, as a YouTuber named Khan will be very ecstatic about. Okay, so obviously we're to the coal mine here. I've not built a shunt yard for it yet, but I do plan on doing that at some point. Originally I had this way too close to this. I had to, oh no, it was actually too far. I had to put it in closer because when I dumped off my rails, they weren't registering, so I actually had to put it in closer. So a lot of people will loop back around and go back down that same way, but I was like, no, I think I'm just going to continue this as one big loop, as you saw with that other line coming up the way. And yeah, this probably would never happen in real railroad design, but you can probably see with the waterfall over there we're coming up to that I got one of those mega bridges that uses the ground support as well as the wooden support, going right across the waterfall there. I just think it looks cool, so that's why I put that there. Again, obviously inspired by the picture, and obviously that the YouTuber named Khan, he did a video on these types of bridges, so I figured I'd do one as well. But originally I did try to do a 180 here and come back down, but I just couldn't get it to work the way I wanted it to, so in the end I just gave up and just came across the waterfall. So you'll probably see the trees which I cut down trying to get this to work. I tried to make it all wooden instead of switching it over to the iron. If I'd switched it over to the iron types of bridges, then I probably could have swept it back around, but I didn't really want to do that. So I just decided to go across here. But I think I might have made it a bit too close to the waterfall, because it's constantly in the spray of the waterfall, which I find hilarious. But yeah, you can see where I sort of tried to loop back around with those trees here. Yeah, you can see the route there. I tried to go up that way, but yeah, right into the spray of the waterfall. Oh, that's just stupid. Oh well. As stupid as it is, I like to call it the train wash. If you want to wash your trains down, if they get dirty, just bring them here and wash them in the waterfall. So yeah, but obviously I'm gonna let these run again, and I'll stop talking until we get back towards the refinery area. Okay, so we're coming up to another point here, so we're going to go right here, I think. Yep, we are. So if I was to go on this line down here, this would take me back down to the refinery, but obviously I don't want to go that way, so we're going down this way to back towards the sawmill. Now I didn't have to put this line in. I could have left it as it is, because you saw another line that comes up from this one back onto this one, but I wanted to be able to keep a constant running line without having to constantly switch points back and forth between going on back to the sawmill or going down to the refinery, so I decided to put this in to allow me to have a constant running line without interfering with the point work at all down there, while also still giving me the option to allow me to get from the iron ore mine onto this line if I wanted to. And we'll just cross over these two bridges coming up here. But yeah, I do. Obviously, you can tell I like to try and get my lines as straight as possible whenever I can. Yeah, I like this view that I get from this line because it just shows all of the bridges that I've put in. It's just ridiculous. So yeah, obviously if I was to come up from the iron ore mine, I could take this line here to connect up here and then head back up to the sawmill. But yeah, that's all the bridges, and we're not even halfway done yet. We've still got to go through to the oil fields and I think it's the ironworks. Yeah, I think it's the ironworks. We head that way, but yeah, we've still got to do all that yet. I think all my points are switched right for those lines, so we should be okay. Still, yep, they're all still back there. So yeah, it was only those 3 turns on the one at the sawmill and these 2 up here where the couplings actually snap. So that just goes to show how much these curves don't go above the 20% grade. So this is actually a descent on the line. I did decide to go down a bit because obviously these here were a bit too high, so I actually had to delete this bridge all the way back up to there and then start descending it so I wouldn't have to build a bunch of groundwork down here. But after this here they start inclining again. But yeah, you can get a sense of how my layout is. Which is silly. It's silly the amount of bridges I've put in here, but again, this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to be able to set my points up and then just travel in one direction without having to constantly switch the point back and forth every time I went back from one industry to another. So, and by having it set up this way, eventually I would like to have people playing on this on my server, just running a bunch of trains in whatever way they want. Obviously they have to consent to the direction of travel, of course, because otherwise it'll be utter chaos. Because there's no passing loops on my layout whatsoever. So yeah, obviously we came up this line here earlier. I did switch the point, but yeah, we can head up to the refinery, not the refinery, sorry, the iron ore mine if we wanted to. Had to build up the ground a bit here because again the bridge got a bit too tall, but again it didn't matter. It looks cool, I think. And obviously nice low bridge there, and yep. We're away now, so we should be heading back towards the depot now. Give myself some fuel, I think. So I'm using OBS to record this, and just doing that route a lot. So far we've been travelling now for 1 hour and 5 minutes roughly. I think we're coming up to 1 hour and 5 minutes now on the run time. So yeah, I did do that little intro at the start, so obviously we're not that long, but yeah, we might have been running for about an hour now, just to get back to the sawmill. Oh, that's insane. But that's the thing I like about this. It just adds to the realism, the amount of time it takes time to get from one end to the other. Points are set correctly. Don't think they are actually. No, they are. Yeah, that is one thing about having the points right next to each other with the two levers. I should really put one on the other side there. It gets confusing when you're coming up to it, because if one's in one direction, one's in the other, at this distance you can't tell which point is in which direction. So yeah, obviously this is the loop around. If I this point here, I think I mentioned it earlier, but this one allows me to head back up to the logging camp, and that one there was the one earlier that comes from the logging camp back to the depot. But yeah, I did shut it off earlier, but this is just another view of it. Yeah, can't really see it with all the trees in the way, but yeah, we're just coming up here now. So there was another line. This line actually didn't used to be like this. This used to be just a single line that was a lot closer to the ground. So that's why there's so many trees that have been demolished. And there was another line that came along here. There's a complete line of trees that have just been completely wiped out from when I did it. I don't think you can see it, but yeah. So the reason this line goes up to this height is because of that return line that I did that goes out the depot and back towards the oil fields and ironworks. This line here, I had to get over this line, annoyingly. So basically, I decided to just do another helix back down. So that's why that's like that, and obviously I had to curve it in a certain way that it would avoid it. So yeah, it was just a way of doing it. But it gives a good view of the depot. So I think I had to, just on this bit here, as we're coming up to this line on the larder, I had to go a bit tighter, not above the 20%, but I think I was sticking to more 15% around there, so I think this is around, I think, an 18% curve. Because whenever I do my helixes, I try not to go above 15%, because obviously I don't want to add too much friction on the turn with a 20%. Because it's a constant curve, so that's why that's like that. And it brings us perfectly down to the other side here. So yeah, we'll get a good look at what I've unlocked so far in terms of my freight. So yeah, as you can see, I don't have much freight because that's all of it right there. I do not have that much. So yeah, I do want to get a lot more. I'd like to get like at least 10 of these coal hoppers, maybe 8 of these oil wagons here. I don't think you really need any more than one box stand, because they only hold tools and it can store up to 36 tools. So unless you want to do it, like get the oil fields tool supply up in one go, and oh god, No, 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 no. Ah, damn it. Oh, that is not good. That is not good. I got distracted. Ah, I forgot about this point. Oh, that is a sad sight. I know one of the devs is not going to be happy about with that, with me for doing that. Okay. No, I don't want that line. Yeah, unfortunately you can't play some... there we go. Oh god, I've got to set the brakes on this, otherwise they're just going to keep rolling back. Brakes, 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 brakes. There we go. Oh god, the tender's the wrong way. Yeah, that was not good of me at all. Come on. Reroll. There we go. Back onto this line. No, wrong way around. Come on. Flipper. Come on, turn around for me. No, come on, turn around. There we go. Okay, I'll just go back up to my Class 70. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I completely forgot about that point. That's got that there. Okay. There we go. Okay, I'll release the brakes off of the Cook Mogul here. Brake 0%. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Oh god, no. Oh god, I thought I was stuck then. Okay, let's continue on. That was a bit of a bollocks on my part there. But we're off again. I think what I'd done, I'd originally done a run of flat cars for the steel pipes on here, so luckily we didn't have a complete train pile up, but again I just crashed my favourite engine, so yeah, sorry about that. So yeah, obviously, yeah, I forgot to mention that point that we passed back there, just looped back around to the other side of the freight depot, so nothing much there. But yeah, more bridges coming up. We could have put groundwork along there, but again, it's just easier to have it all as the same structure rather than switching back and forth between ground and bridges. I must make sure this one's set correctly. Yes, it is. So yeah, when I built this line, I originally went straight up to what was it? It was the refinery. Yeah, I went straight to the refinery with this line first, but I since, and it still does that, but I've changed the order in which I'm able to access certain things, because what I found I was doing was heading off to the ironworks, then to the oil fields, and then finally up to the the refinery. Yeah. So oh yeah, sorry, I've been calling the have I been calling the smelter the refinery all this time? I think I have. Anyway. But yeah, so yeah, I go to the ironworks first, I do. So, but yeah, this line will take me up to the refinery, it will. And obviously that point that we passed there, back there, takes me off to the oil field, so it's pretty simple with that one. So yeah, we'll be coming back down these lines in a bit. I think, is it both of them or just one of them? Can't remember. So yeah, this line here comes from the refinery via that Helix over there. There's another one over there. I think we'll be taking that Helix later. But yeah, that's lines just come from the refinery. Yeah, the refinery. Obviously, another point here. I want to put in another goods yard at a layer point, or a shunt yard, just I should say. So yeah, another loop around. With this one, I was able to keep it all level instead of having to raise it up and back down again because of a mountain. So that was all good. Yeah. So as you can see, because of the wide radius of these curves, I actually have to come out first around and then back in on myself just so that I can get these wide curves in. So you can tell I've been to the doing the ironworks a fair bit, considering that it's half full on, yeah, almost half full on both of them. I did do a massive run of steel pipes recently though. We'll be coming up to the oil fields, and this is probably one of my more favourite shunt yards that I've got coming up. So yeah, this point here heads to another Helix that I've got, which allows me to head back to the depot if I wanted to skip out the oil fields here. Definitely be coming down these two lines later. Yeah, I spent the most amount of time here because this was the last industry I connected up, so I wanted to make it look all nice as sort of like a celebration sort of thing. So I went a bit all out with this shunt yard here. I might leave the climax here at some point. I mean, obviously I'm going to take these all back to the depot for now, but yeah, I would like to get a porter for each of these little shunt yards that I do, just because that's what they were designed to do, just shunt stuff around. Obviously if I did that I'd have to build more logging facilities to keep them stocked up, because they run out of firewood extremely quickly. And there's a tree growing out of this building for the life of me, or two trees. I cannot get them at all. There's some sort of invisible wall blocking it, which aggravates me every time I pass here. So obviously we're coming up to this line, so we're going to be taking the right line here, but this line is obviously another line that heads back to the depot, and it actually heads up to another Helix, which brings us up onto this bridge here. Which that bridge has come from the refinery it has. So with this is so this line that we're on now is the line that I've completed last. So this was the last line to make everything connected up, because obviously I tried to I did do a loop around further up, which we'll see in a minute, to get back on the original line to head back to the refinery, but I had to keep switching points back and forth, which was annoying, so I just decided to put this line in here, so it actually curves all the way around and back in on itself to create this cool sort of four-way crossover type of deal. But this curve does go to, I think, a 21% grade on the curve, but it's on a flat surface, so I'm not too worried about us uncoupling here, mostly because this bridge here got in the way a little bit, so I had to just tighten out just a bit. Yeah, we're good. So yeah, hopefully if I have a really long train I don't crash into the back of myself on this one. So, but we'll be coming back down this line on our right here later, once we've hit the refinery and come back in on ourselves. We're not down to 50 yet, so we're good, and my water's still around 4,000. So yeah, I guess with the water you can overfill it to a point where it no longer registers the amount, and it'll just get stuck at around a certain level. But I guess it does go down eventually. I just must have overfilled that tender way too much. Another cool little bridge here, which we'll be coming over later. Yeah, if you couldn't tell, I like bridges a lot. They just make things easier. Yeah, I have to get the other porter and the Heisler at some point and do a video on just me pulling all the trains with the Type 70 here. I think that's hilarious. So yeah, here's my little shunt yard here. Now with the track here, I actually didn't know that the beams, the steel pipes actually went over here, so the track gets a bit covered up sometimes. Basically it was so that I could run trains all the way back here so I could get more lumber into there, but that sort of backfired on me a bit. Yeah, I also hear they're going to be adding maintenance to your trains. So if this Type 70 had done this run when that finally comes out, I wonder how much maintenance is going to be needed on it, because it's been just having a complete thrashing at 100% on the regulator the entire way. I know I shouldn't run it at this, but it's just easier. Sorry. So yeah, this rail actually was a bit too far away, so that the second set of barrels wasn't loading properly, so I brought it in extremely close along there, as you can see. So yeah, now I could take this route back to the depot directly, but it would interfere with a point later on, so in actuality I take this route now, so this route pretty much isn't used that much, and the reason for that is because of the point work by the oil fields. It just works out better, but I just decided to leave it on for the sake of leaving it there, because I built it at that point and it just looks good, so that's why. Anyway, coming down another helix here. So yeah, this is where the was it the Cook Mogul? Yeah, the Cook Mogul shook off my flatbeds. I think it was because I was going at full reg with on a descent, so it just completely shook them off the rails, because they weren't loaded at all at that point, so they didn't have the weight holding them down. So, but with the Type 70 being a bit slower, I'm able to just keep going at 100% reg with no issue whatsoever. Okay, so this point here will take me obviously back to the ironworks, as you can see. And obviously, so yeah, like I say, if you want. In fact, I'll leave it up to you guys. If you think I should delete this bridge or not, because it is pretty much useless at this point, let me know in the comments, and I'll tally up the amount of comments that I get over the next, I don't know, 2 weeks, and we'll see if I delete it or not. But yeah, obviously that point here allows me to get back to the oil fields. It would mean I'd lose this nice helix here again, so you know, it's I don't know, I'll leave it up to you guys. But yeah, obviously we're going to be coming up to another helix, so obviously if I do delete it, I'm going to have to redo this entire bridge here, because obviously I won't need it. Oh wait, no, I do need this bridge here actually, because I mean, I could delete the area from the refinery to this point here, because I need to get back over the rails to head to the other side of the depot. So yeah, so this will need to stay the same. So yeah, I'll show you which part I mean in which I'll let you guys vote on to delete or not. But yeah, another nice helix coming up here. So yeah, I'm not sure if you can see it, but past, that's not the bridge I'm talking about. So just as it comes up to a point up around here, which is this part here. So yeah, decide if I delete that one there, because it's pretty much non-existent to be used anymore now. Yeah, so coming up where you can see the mouse cursor, up along here, we'll head to the refinery, see if I delete that part of the bridge or not. But yeah, here we are coming up to another bit. So this here allows me to loop back down towards the refinery, and this was my original line to do before changing it slightly, but this one I still need in case I want to run back down if I missed an industry that I wanted to go to. So it's just good to have a backup. But yeah, that just comes across here. So we're finally coming up to the end of my layout, and obviously I only decoupled 3 times, and that was once on the at the sawmill, and twice on the bridge heading up to the iron ore mine. So it just goes to show how gentle my curves are. later out off for a moment, just coast it down here. Yeah, so my run time at the moment with me recording this on OBS is 1 hour and 30 minutes. So again, obviously I stated earlier that I had the intro, but yeah, that's how long it takes to just give you a rough idea of how long it takes to get all the way around my layout, and that's not like stopping off and picking up certain industries with the what is it called, you know, like the sawmill, logs, lumber, all that sort of stuff. It doesn't include that time that it takes. So obviously there's my loop around from one end of the so if I don't want to head up to that area there, I can take this loop around to come back in on myself. But yeah, we are here finally. I don't think I'm going to crash into the back of my caboose. No, good. I do plan on extending this freight yard later with that point that's there. So I'll basically have 5 main sidings and then a run around like a passing loop siding, which will allow me to access that point there. And with that, we have now finished my full run of my layout. And that is it. So I hope you guys enjoyed my little tour of my layout, and give me a comment on what you think of it. Thanks guys, and Chaos X Otaku signing out. Stop.